Greetings, I'm Jackie Bird, and this is a Mindfulness Moment. You know, the phrase, know your worth, there's a lot to be said about that. But if you don't know your worth, learning your worth is of value. And I think what's interesting just in terms of the phrase knowing your worth is that it's not a finite thing. It's not where, oh, I know my worth. It's a learning process. You may know your worth, you may know you're valuable, but there will be things that come up where you're asked again, what is your worth? We always think in terms of the money value, so-and-so is worth $6.2 million. But knowing your worth is the value of you, your value. And it's not even so much for other people. Oh, I want them to know my worth. Well, yeah, you do. But do you really know your worth? Because when you understand your worth on a more innate level, a more intimate level, it's not just how other people treat you, but it's how you treat you. Knowing your worth. Yeah, I know my worth, and it's worth it to me to take a time out. Yeah, I know my worth. It's time for me to push back from the computer screen. Not, oh gosh, I have so much stuff to do. But I have so much to do, but in this moment, I'm going to take this moment and I'm going to breathe. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm at the computer. The computer's right there. I'm going to close my eyes. And I'm going to just breathe. It takes moments to do that. And then you're ready to slay again. That's also part of knowing your worth. Knowing that you have to refuel. Knowing that you have to fill the well. Yes, your worth, your value to other people is one thing. You may be a caretaker, and you're taking care of older parents, or you're taking care of young children, or you're taking care of them and an older parent or parents and doing your job, whatever that may be. They know your worth, whether they treat you that way or not, but they know your worth. They know your value. They know that if you were not the one to make things go, things wouldn't go. But in that of being the be or end all for everyone that you are servicing, that you are taking care of, you have to know your worth and your value in taking care of yourself and giving yourself what you give to others. That way that you want to make sure that people are taken care of. You want to make sure that people feel good. People are feeling secure. You have to give that to yourself because you're not necessarily going to get that from other people. And if you do, that's a bonus. If you are working with young people that you're helping to grow and they are courteous and they are mindful enough of you, Mom, why don't you sit down? Mom, let me rub your feet. Mom, don't carry that. Let me carry that for you. If you are raising young people like that, bravo. But the one thing is you show people how to treat you. You show people what your worth is, whether they acknowledge it or not. You show people how to treat you. So when you take better care of yourself, that's when you'll really know your worth. Because then you won't accept anything less. You won't accept a job that is not paying you what you're worth. You will draw the job to you. And I know, hey, that's easy to say. You might need the job that's being offered to you. Okay. How can you know your worth in that situation? You make that decision. I have to take this job. I can't get another job. But how do you treat yourself in that decision? That's knowing your worth. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take this job. It's paying me thousands of dollars less than I am actually worth, but I need to take it because XYZ, whatever that is. So you take that job. Knowing your worth. Do you keep complaining about the fact that you're not making the money you should be making? That kind of takes away from your worth in a way, because you're devaluing what this decision meant to you. The decision was, this is the job that came along and I decided I'm going to take it. Knowing your worth is, I'm going to make the most of this job. I'm going to get what I can from it. I'm going to use it as a stepping stone to where it is that I want to go or what it is that I want to attract. So if you make that decision, then that's the decision. Get behind that decision and make it like it's the best decision ever. Even if all the people you're working with are creeps. It is helping you get to that next step that you want to go to. So this is what I mean in terms of knowing your worth, knowing your value. And sometimes, as I said earlier, you are learning your worth. I thought I was worth that much, but no, I realized I'm worth this much. Yeah, I thought I was worth that much. And maybe that time I was, but now I'm worth this much. So you learn as you go. You're learning, I don't like the situation that I'm in. Okay, so that's a lesson. I know I have learned more about my worth because the situation I'm in is devaluing my worth in the eyes of others. So it still always comes back to you. It always comes back to the I, the me, the how am I viewing things. That's when you really, really are learning your worth. When you can see that your perspective is really priceless. How you choose to look at a situation. That's knowing your worth. That's learning your worth. So in this moment, you're going to have a knowing my worth moment in listening to the sound, viewing what's behind me. And as you really take a look at what's around, even though things look dead, like these trees, it gives life and birth to everything that's in here. So as you are observing what I'm showing you, breathe and feel your breath getting slower as you are observing the colors and everything that's around, how vibrant everything is. As I'm speaking to you and you are observing, your breath is slowing. Feel your breath. Be aware of the breath as you are taking in the scenes. Be aware of the in-breath and the out-breath. And you can do that in through the nose and out through the nose if you choose. You can do that in through the nose. And if you're alone, out through the mouth. Adding your sound to the sound that you're hearing. You can do that in through the nose. And out through the sound. Out through the mouth with the sound of if you can't hear me. Just find these moments where you slow down. When you slow down, you get to learn your worth as you feel what it feels like to just slow down. You can hear yourself better. You can hear your inner voice when you slow and breathe. Ideas can come to you with less noise, mind chatter, monkey mind that's going on. Just breathe. Learn to say no when you really mean no. That's how you learn your worth. And the people that you said no to, they may be mad. And even if they ask you again and they get mad again, or in one instance, somebody asked me, could they stay at my house? And I said no. They called me up the same day. They were moving from the South. They were like, can I stay at your house? I was no. Some years later, they needed a place to live. And they were like, I didn't ask you because you said no before when I asked. And I was like, oh, glad you remembered that. You know my worth. It may be worthless to you, but you know not to ask me because I'm going to tell you no. So the power of no is a very valuable asset. So if you don't know your worth, I don't really know. That's okay. Learn it. And one of the fastest, easiest ways to learn it is to say no when you normally would have said yes and then griped about it and then been upset about it because you said no. No, you said yes when you wanted to say no. That's like a brilliant way of learning your worth. And don't worry if the person gets upset. They'll either get over it or they won't, but that's not your problem. Don't make their problem your problem. That's another way of learning and knowing your worth. Their problem is their problem. And they may want to make it your problem, but it's their problem. As soon as you take on their ish, it becomes your problem. So when you can, we call it set boundaries. I guess however you want to look at it. To me, it's expanding boundaries because I am pushing away all the crap as far away from me as possible because I am saying no. I'm not taking on this other person's stuff. That's also learning your worth. And it doesn't matter who they are. It could be a family member, could be your mama. Don't take on other people's stuff. Learn where it should stop. Okay, they've told you. All right. You've lent an ear. All right. Then you go and you worry about it. Now you've taken it on. So these are other ways to learn your worth. And as you know your worth, you continue to learn your worth even more. And on that note, I'm Jacquie Bird of Jacquie Bird Spiritual Wellness. Thank you for your time. I hope that you've enjoyed what I have shared with you and that it is of value. And I'm going to give you a moment to just take in a little bit more of what is surrounding you.